Hey, what is up, everyone? Hope you're doing great. Thanks for joining me. Today we are in Petersham, Massachusetts at Gate 40 of the Quabbin Reservoir. So let's take a hike. We'll talk about Dana and a forgotten grave in the forest. As early as 1895, the Commonwealth had commissioned studies to explore the feasibility of a new reservoir in the western part of the state. This was done in an effort to quench Boston's ever-growing thirst from its fast-growing population. So, in 1927, the Massachusetts legislature passed the Swift River Act, which mandated the creation of the Quabbin Reservoir. To build the reservoir, the towns of Enfield, Greenwich, Prescott, and Dana were flooded. The method in which the Commonwealth cataloged the homes in the areas to be flooded was a haunting process. Officials documented each home with a stark photograph, placing chalkboards with the essential details of the properties in front of it. Each click of the camera captured a snapshot of the lives about to be erased. On April 27, 1938, the Enfield Fire Department sponsored a farewell ball for the four towns. As the clock struck midnight, they sang Auld Lang Syne, and the four towns were disincorporated. The valley was then systematically cleared and burned. This is a picture of Enfield. The white building was the home of the engineers for the project. It was directly across the street from where the farewell ball was held. In order to accomplish the flooding in the valley, two massive dams, or dikes, were built. In 1938, the Goodnough Dike was completed. It's approximately 2,140 feet long and is 264 feet high. I've sped up my walk here to 4x. Here we are on the top of this massive structure. This vista would have been providing us with an easterly view of the town of Prescott. This is the Winsor Dam. It was completed in 1939 and it is built across the Swift River. At 2,640 feet long and 170 feet high, it now provides you with a southerly view of the former town of Enfield. All of this results in a naturally filtered reservoir with a capacity of 412 billion gallons of water. Hunting season here in Massachusetts. Gotta be careful out here. And right on cue, here's the deer check station. We are currently hiking along Dana Road. This will take us straight into Dana Common, which is essentially the former center of town. Stone wall lined roads just appear out of the forest. Here we are. We're coming into Dana Common now. The first house would have been right here on my left. The Congregational Church would have been right here. Notice the sidewalk in the foreground of the historical photo. Just some rock walls holding back the earth is all that's left. Let's go see what else we can find. This would have been the home of Edgar Vaughan right here. He paid the local children 1 cent for every 10 river stones that they would bring him. He used them to make this amazing retaining wall, which still stands today. A lot of folks mistake this for the foundation of the home, but the foundation of the home is actually back here. This is it. And much like the church, there's not much left but rocks holding back the earth. Let's go back to the common and see what else we can find. Here's where the general store and the post office would have been. I'm standing right where the two little boys who were sitting in the wagon would have been. Let's check out where the hotel would have been. This was originally the Flag Tavern. It later expanded with a second floor and became the Eagle Hotel. This was the hotspot in town. It contained the local watering hole, as well as guest rooms for the folks who were visiting Patapog Pond, which is nearby. Not much happening here now. Let's check out the town common itself. This is where all their memorials would have been on display, which were moved to the Quabbin Park Cemetery, which we'll talk more about in a minute. Here's a historical photo, the cataloging of the World War I Cannon Memorial, and here's where it lies today. Here's the historical photo of the Commonwealth cataloging the Revolutionary War Memorial, and here's where it lies today. And here is what is left in the common from these memorials today. Let's go check out the town hall and the schoolhouse. This is the same sidewalk to the town hall that the citizens of Dana would have walked on when going to the town hall to complain about their land being taken. As I stand in front of the former town hall, I can't help but think about those who walked through these doors decades ago. They came here to speak out, to resist the loss of their home and their land to the Quabbin Reservoir project. Their voices, full of protest and pain, were silenced. In this historical photo, you can see the schoolhouse next to the town hall. Notice the children playing in the playground. And here is what is left of the two-floor schoolhouse. This is the Brown Evergreen Cemetery in Dana Center. During the course of the project, 32 cemeteries in the four towns had the 7,500 bodies that were interned there exhumed and moved to various cemeteries, including the aforementioned Quabbin Park Cemetery in Ware, Mass. Here is Aaron Johnson's grave when it was in the Evergreen Cemetery in Dana Common. Here is the final resting place for Aaron Johnson. Rest in peace. Here we can see Weston Cooley's grave behind the schoolhouse in Dana Common. And here is his final resting place. Rest in peace. And here is 1-month-old Randolph Almquist's grave in Dana Cemetery. And here is his final resting place. Rest in peace, little man. Let's check out the memorial for the folks who used to live here. So we found Dana. What about that forgotten grave in the forest? Before I tell you about that, why don't you take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe if you've enjoyed the video to this point. I'd appreciate it. In August of 1847, John and Sarah Farnsworth gave birth to a baby boy who they named Wendell. Unfortunately, he passed away shortly before his 6th birthday and was buried on the family farm. Wendell's grave was forgotten and is now in an overgrown forest. And truth be told, I have searched for this grave before, and I've been unsuccessful 2 times, including today. I was just going to do an outro by the water and tell you, sometimes you try your best, but it's just not good enough. But at this point, finding Wendell's grave had become personal to me. The thought of Wendell's grave being lost out in the forest with very little potential for visitors really struck a chord with me. I couldn't stop thinking about Wendell Farnsworth after my two failed attempts to find his grave. So I went back the following Saturday. It was a crisp and clear morning. My breath was visible in the cold air. After passing several downed trees, I decided to head into the forest off to the left. I started wandering around this property that ran downhill away from the road, trying to be as conscious as I could of any uncapped wells or timber rattlesnakes. I wish I saw a baby when I pushed out on the road before I got onto this path. Then, in an almost incredulous moment, I saw it. I stopped dead in my tracks after looking up off to my left and noticing the top of his gravestone up on the ridge. As I stepped towards Wendell Farnsworth's grave, emotions swirled over me. Disbelief, joy, sadness, reverence. I started to reflect on the fact that Wendell's family had moved away shortly after his death, leaving him here on this ridge. The town he would have called home is now flooded, and he is still here, tucked away quietly in the forest, with the only visitors he receives being the ones tenacious enough to seek him out. Rest in peace, little man. As we wrap up this exploration of the Quabbin, I can't help but think about everything that's been lost here. Towns, homes, lives. From the voices that echoed through the old Dana town hall to Wendell Farnsworth, who rests quietly up in the forest. These are the stories that often remain hidden beneath the surface of history. The Quabbin may now be a symbol of renewal, providing life-sustaining water to millions, but it's also a place where memories of a past community linger, silenced but not forgotten. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.